Dillon, what's going through your head when you're driving to the basket there with like 3 seconds left?
Yeah, I told Coach with 3.9 seconds or whatever how much was left. I said, run power, which is a play we have, late clock. And I think he looked at me cross-eyed. It's kind of looking at me crazy that I would call for my own number, but, that was really all the time we had left. And I drove to the hoop, and I saw nobody in front of me, and I just laid it up. I didn't even see the ball go in, and then, everybody was mobbing me. We were lit.
What was the moment like with your team when they're mobbing you at the edge of the court?
It was cool, man. It was cool. I did a whole bunch of nothing tonight, so, the guys came through all game long, and everybody played their part in this win, and, I'm glad to, hold a small part in that.
Best 2-point game of your career?
Yeah, definitely.
What did Coach say to you after you made that bucket, or whenever you got to see him?
I'm just glad it went in, because if it didn't, I'm probably not on the flight back to New York tonight. So happy it went in, and happy to do it for Coach.
Big picture, St. John's back in the Sweet 16 for the first time since 1999. What does it mean to you to be a part of a team that's making St. John's history?
Yeah, it's just cool to be, a part of something bigger than ourselves. Knowing that, New Yorkers take pride in the Johnnies, and, how the Johnnies have rallied around us all year long. It's just exciting, and, happy to keep playing for them.
Duke is next. How much confidence does this team have, especially after a win like this?
We got a lot of confidence. We always believe in ourselves. We always think we can get it done. Duke is a hell of a team. But at the same time, what a opportunity at hand, Duke in the Sweet 16. In D.C., the place is going to be flooded with Johnnies, and I'm sure, Duke will have their fair share too, and it'll be cool.
Dillon, Sweet 16 bound. First of all, the way that one ended, how are you feeling right now?
My high blood pressure's up a little bit, but I'm just happy to get the win. Dillon is nuts. He's crazy, and that's why we call him Church Bells. He shows up in moments like that.
Describe the reaction from all of you guys when you tackled him onto the floor at the end of the court there.
I thought we might have killed one of the camera guys on there. I was like, oh my gosh, but man, that was just insane type of ending. We struggled at the end, rebounding the ball, but we'll get back to work on that. Now we just celebrate a little bit, and we'll get back to work when we get back home.
What's going through your mind when Dillon has the ball driving toward the basket?
I know he's going to do something. He's going to make a play, and it's either, hey, we're going to overtime, and we're going to do everything we can to win overtime, or Church Bells going to be Church Bells.
Kansas gave you guys all you can handle. They took away what you normally do well in the paint. How important were making the threes, especially from Bryce?
It was big. I mean, we came in at halftime 7 for 23, so we took a lot. They're a big team, really athletic. They play fast. That was one of the tougher Kansas teams I've played personally, playing them in the Big 12 this whole time. But, man, just making plays all around, just trying to push in transition, take open shots. You know how Coach P is when somebody's not shooting, he's going to get on you. So everybody was going out there and just letting them go.
First time St. John's in the Sweet 16 since 1999. How special is it to be a part of this group?
It's insane. This is the best time to be here, playing basketball in March, and now advancing on to the Sweet 16 is no better feeling. And it starts now. Now the real fun really starts.
Bryce, Sweet 16 bound. That one, crazy ending. What's going through your mind when Dillon takes that ball to the basket?
He had a rough shooting night for the night, but, we call him Church Bells for a reason. Throughout the season, he's found ways to, make big plays down the stretch, and he did it in the biggest moment. When we had our backs against the wall, he didn't shy away from the moment. That's why we call him Church Bells. What
was the reaction like in the locker room when you guys came in here?
It's amazing. I mean, you live for moments like this. When you're growing up as a kid, just watching March Madness, and you see the defeat on opposing teams, and you see the excitement of the winning teams. Just to be in the locker room on the winning side, dancing in March, man, that's what you live for.
Kansas took away what you guys do well in the paint. You hit 6 threes. That's a career high. What was working for you, and how important were making those shots?
I mean, it was very important. I feel like they were kind of sagging off of me, but, I put in a ton of work on my three-point shot. It's not a surprise for me to hit that many threes. I work on it every day. It's just a matter of me being confident out there. My teammates give me all the confidence in the world. And, it's just the best time to be playing basketball, so you don't want to leave any doubt. No regrets.
What were the adjustments that were made at half?
I feel like the biggest thing was just trying to limit them to one shot. I mean, we did a good job for the most part. I feel like towards the stretch where they were coming back on us, we kind of weren't checking out on the boxing out and stuff like that. But, we found a way to be resilient and found a way to win.
This is the first time St. John's in the Sweet 16 since 1999. What does it mean to you to be a part of this team?
It's amazing. I'm extremely blessed. All glory goes to God. I'm just extremely blessed to be back out here healthy, playing basketball again after my injury. I can't thank the Lord enough for putting us in this position. I'm so excited for the fans of St. John's. They deserve it. They've been behind us throughout the whole season. We can't wait to get to the Sweet 16.
Zuby, Sweet 16 bound. How good does that one feel?
It sounds sweet. Man, it was a tough game. Obviously, a huge credit to Kansas. They're such a great team, and it's headlined by, Coach Self. I have a lot of love, a lot of respect for Kansas program. Obviously, being there my freshman year. But, it was never really about me. It was really about the team, getting the job done. And there's a lot of players, that made big-time plays, and Big Bells made the play to win it.
What's going through your mind when there's only a couple seconds on the clock and Dillon's driving to the basket?
Man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I was like, okay, should I get open? I want to get a last shot off. Man, I was a little bit off today, but, man, like I said, man, Dillon was actually the one who went up to coach and asked, to call the play, and he made the play. He made a big-time bucket to seal the win, man. So we're all really excited.
What was going on in that huddle when you guys are all on top of him at the end of the court?
I don't know what the heck was going on. My mind was literally all over the place. Everybody literally jumped on him, man, and I was like, oh, my God. I hope somebody don't get hurt. But, man, we're going to the Sweet 16, man, so it's just a great feeling. My first time being here, so I'm really excited.
For you personally, you guys lost in the round of 32 last year. You went to Kansas. I know there had to be a chip on your shoulder for both situations. How good does this one just feel for you personally, and not just St. John's, the team?
It feels great because, we're, obviously we've surpassed, where we were last year, and it's my final year in college alongside, a couple of my teammates as well. So we're just trying to, keep playing ball as long as possible, man, keep having fun. There's a lot of things that we can still work on. But we move on. We're going to watch film. We got a really great, opponent in Duke coming up next. So we're going to watch film and, move on.
Got to take a breath and just relax a little after this one, right? Heart rate's probably high.
Going back to the East Coast. Ready, really excited. Sweet 16, baby. Let's do it.
Coach, Dillon said you looked at him kind of crazy when he asked to call his own number there at the end. What was going through your mind as he drove to the basket?
Well, we were calling his number. It's called sideline. And then when they fouled him, and there were 3.9 seconds left, he said, Coach, not enough time to run sideline, run power. Because sideline wasn't for him. Sideline was for three other guys on the weak side. Because obviously he hadn't made a bucket prior to that. He comes up to me and says, run power, which is a high pick and roll. It's got to go to the rim. So I said, okay, we'll run power. And as I walked away, I said, the freaking kid hasn't made a bucket the whole game, and he's calling his number. But it was our only option, so I let him do it, and he made it to his right hand. Quite special. He'll remember it for the rest of his life, and I'm obviously quite proud of him.
It sends you back.
The resiliency of your team, though, they got it down to 5, got it down to 3, tied it up.
Yeah, we played great defense the whole night, but we didn't block out 3 different times after playing great defense. And one of the times it led to a 3. So we made some mistakes down the stretch, but we made big buckets. Bryce Hopkins making a big 3. Zuby making a big play in the lane. We just did not block out.
Yeah, Coach, multiple times in this game it got tighter and tighter, but you had your seniors step up. Just what does it say about this team to be able to battle back against elite competition?
Yeah, this is going to sound strange to you, but the last 2 games I told the team the 3-point line has to be the difference maker. Now, we're not a great 3-point shooting team, but I told them it's got to have great disparity in both games for us to win, to beat Kansas. So tonight, I think we make 11 threes, 33 points to 15. That's the difference maker in the game. Because when you're playing against bigger people, the 3-point line has to be effective because our post game wasn't working against their shot blockers. So we had to make threes. Bryce Hopkins, I screamed at him about 3 times for not taking wide open ones. And finally, I said, kill it, Bryce. And he killed it, and that was a big 3 for us.
Can you talk about your depth on this team? I mean, coming into it, a lot of people were talking about Zuby against his former team and all that kind of stuff. You have so much depth, guys contributing all up and down the lineup.
We have great depth in the backcourt.
Okay.
Don't have great depth in the front court. We just have Ruben. Once in a while I can play Deco, but Deco's 6'4", 6'5". So we have great depth in the backcourt. But, it's so much fun being part of this at 73 years of age. It's just so exciting to see the locker room like that. It just brings back so many memories that I had at Kentucky and Louisville. And it brings back. I feel like I'm 40 again, and just to see the smiles on their face is worth so much to me.
First time since 1999, St. John's is back in the Sweet 16. What does it mean to this program and to this group?
Well, it means we got 4 more to go, and that's the way. We're not looking at the Sweet 16 or Elite 8 or Final Four. It's going to take care of the next game, whoever that may be. It's Duke. And we're going to play Duke with our hearts out and be real proud of what we've accomplished, but don't embrace anything that's happened. Get ready for Duke.
Coach, you called him church bells in the regular season for his grit. Do you need to upgrade the appellation for March Madness?
Bells is right now. He won the Bells Award tonight, and they're bigger than anything I've ever seen. Those are Godzilla bells right now, so it's amazing.
Coach, I know you got to fly back, but how do you get to celebrate tonight before you have to start prepping for Duke?
Well, we're going to watch Duke, obviously. We'll get in. We're leaving at 10 o'clock tonight, so we'll probably get in 4 or 5 in the morning. But we won't need a plane to fly back.
How much is this rejuvenating you? Or just...
I love it to see smiles on the players' faces. It's just, somebody said yesterday, you're up 19 points and you're getting on lefty for deep. I said, we're looking at the next game. We can't make that mistake. So tonight, Ian, Bryce, and somebody else didn't block out 3 different times. Now that's a lesson for them. If you lose the game and they learn their lessons by going home, they're never going to forgive themselves.
Right.
So now we realize that we blocked out. We were up 8, I think, at halftime, and we were up on the backboard, up on forced turnovers, up on threes. So we learned a valuable lesson tonight about blocking out with the game on the line.
Coach, you compared this to some of your other wins, some of your other great moments, but you've told me before, I'm a New Yorker. This is a special way to do it. Does it feel more special?
No, because the smiles are the same with the guys in the locker room. I love my players at Louisville. I love my players at Iona. I love my players at Kentucky, Boston U. I love the guys the same. Nobody. I think if I look back on a career, I'll say, what are you most proud of? Nobody loves their players like I love my guys. I'm still in touch with Boston University guys who are only 2 or 3 years younger than me, because I was 24. I'm still in touch with my Kentucky guys, my Louisville guys, my Nick guys. So to me, my legacy is I brought smiles to the locker room, and that's what I'll remember the most.
Coach, Bryce is playing his best basketball here in March. How much higher does it make this team's ceiling when he's on like that?
We need his shooting because they didn't play certain people tonight. They didn't play Dylan Darling. They didn't play Dillon Mitchell. And we needed Bryce to step up, and he did in a big way.